Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10 Mod in Minecraft, where today I'm doing a little bit of fishing because last time we had gotten our empty PCBs, and in order to etch these, we need etching acid, which requires molten plastic, which requires LPG, which requires crude oil. Now, we can actually go throughout the world and find. Oh, hey, hang on. Who are you? Who are you? You look like a sponge bee. Are you a sponge bee? You are a sponge bee. I will actually take you because I need you. But yes, we could actually go throughout the world and find oil. Now, I believe I have actually found oil before, and of course, because I'm underneath that the map's being weird. Now you can fix. Okay. I believe in the world we've actually come across oil deposits somewhere. Yeah, like there's one. There's one. Well, it looks like there's a couple over here in this mesa. Yeah, there's another one. I've come across them. I know I have, but they don't actually provide a whole lot. Like you'll get maybe 40 buckets in total. Oh, hey, there's another one. So yeah, I could go out. I could harvest all the oil from these little locations right here, or or I can use bees from the oily bee. Now, this bee is nowhere to be found on land. Go fishing in deep waters if you want this thick, oily apid. So yeah, we gotta go fishing in a deep frozen ocean, cold ocean, and lukewarm ocean. And thankfully, this is a deep ocean. So I'm literally going to be sitting here on my dock, looking at my city, and fishing for a bee. It's a very interesting mod pack, isn't it? I'll be back. Well, I did an oopsie. I ended the last recording and then went to immediately start a new recording. But apparently I didn't click the button well enough because didn't start recording a new clip. But I did get all the bees. I got 6 of the oily bees, and I've got 2 sponge bees and 2 prismarine bees. Now, I think I've already got prismarine bees. I'm not sure. No. No, I don't have prismarine bees. So, we'll put those in there so we can actually start generating some prismarine by bees. Ah, that's how I'm making prismarine stuff through the essence. Got it. Got it. Okay. But then we can also start making some sponges later on. But we are going to focus on these guys. So first things first. As I was saying, first things first, we actually do want to breed these guys just to hopefully get them all kind of like with the good stats. So actually, not these guys. These guys have normal. And normal and medium. We want this guy that has high and this guy that has high. These will be our backup bees. So, reason I have so many oily bees versus these guys is because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep catching until I get, because I only caught that one sponge bee at first, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm looking for oily bees anyways. And then I kept catching oily bees. Then I caught the prismarine bees, and I was like, I might as well just keep fishing till I get the sponge. But cage, we want 5 of these bad boys, and we should see them all come in here. Oily bee. Oily bee. Oily bee. There we go. And these are already high productivity, but we want them very high. Yes. 5 of those. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. And these guys are already diurnal. Normal, normal. Okay. So we'll take these guys, throw them in there. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let's get these guys set up in here. I just had the thought as I was coming in here. I was like, wait a minute. What do these guys need to flower? They need oil. These guys actually need a little bit of oil. So I actually have to go out and get some oil in order for these guys to even produce oil. Okay, so here's our base. And here I am, as well as a bunch of villagers and whatnots, which is kind of neat. You know, this little tower holds a lot of villagers. But then also there's apparently a crude oil thing right there. My base is literally right in the fog right there. I didn't realize I had some that close to me until I started looking on the map. And I was like, oh, yeah, we actually have oil pretty close by. I thought it was all just out in the far chunks. No, it's right next to my base. I guess our oil rig is actually an oil rig. But I do need a couple buckets. Well, I guess I technically only need 1 bucket. The hell? Something's sniffing around. And I don't know if it was this guy or if it was something over here. Well, something was sniffing around and I did not like it. Let's go home. Alrighty, here we are back down in the pneumatic area, and in about 3 seconds, this guy should go off. Oh, you mean? Oh. Yeah, so we have actually reached almost 5 bar in the pressure chamber. So, yeah, this guy is just kicking off every now and again, so that way these pipes don't explode. So every now and again, we'll be hearing that guy. But now that we're here, actually, you know what? Let's do new leaking gas. Yes. Let's turn that down. That way we can still hear it if it happens, but it's not so obtrusive. I guess I need to turn that down even more. Okay, that's manageable. 5% is good. But, yes, now that we are back down here, it is because we now have crude oil generating. Got the bees going, so now we need to make LPG, which can be done through a pneumatic processing plant or a refinery controller. So, yeah. Now, the thermopneumatic processing plant, what does it take to make you? It takes some small fluid tanks, some make a you, and then we can make those like that. And there we go. Thermopneumatic processing plant. And it says we've got new chapters in the PCR. Renewables, nope. Components? No. Huh. LPG is not actually in here for some reason. Because it should be like right in here. But it goes liquid hopper, logistics, and then nothing. So that's interesting. A thermopneumatic processing plant is used to process liquids into other liquids. LPG cold together, and this machine can produce liquid plastic. It can also be used in fuel cracking. Heavy fuels can be cracked into lighter ones. This means diesel can be turned into kerosene, kerosene into gasoline, and gasoline into LPG. So let's, I guess, start here. Let us hook this up, if I'm not mistaken. Bonk. Yep. I got my cables. Exporter. Pop this guy on here. And then we want crude oil. I think, yeah, it's the modern industrialization one. Okay. Then down, down. Over. That should start putting, or not. I am an absolute dum-dum. The thermo-pneumatic takes the gasoline from the refinery and turns it into LPG. So I actually need, yeah, the refinery is the one I actually need. So, refine. I did make one. And this, either 2 or 4 refinery outputs need to be stacked on top of each other to work. You will give you the best results before. Does this need air? Or can it just needs heat? Okay. Let's try this again and stop tearing up my base. Okay, this is now accepting the crude oil. So we just need these guys. And I actually had to knock out one of my lights to do this. Hello, light. Go away. Thank you. Okay. Problems. Apply more heat by adding blocks that generate heat around machine. Poorly insulated. 14 of the 30 block pieces are exposed to air, which wastes heat. Ensure no neighboring blocks are air blocks to insulate the machine for better performance. Okay, what produces heat? Does this produce heat, possibly? Temperature required. I'm guessing this does not produce heat. How do we see if something produces heat? Nope. Pneumatic craft. This should have something that... huh. Ah. Splits air into hot air, cold air on one side. This needs pressure, so I'd have to pull it over. Okay. Vortex tube. Lava fast, but solidifies. Let's see. Lava. If I'm not mistaken, yes. If something has this, block heat properties, then we can actually see that it'll work in here. Ha 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 ha. 100 different blocks have block heat properties. So I'm gonna go through this real quick and find out what would be the best that we can use. Believe it or not, one of the best things is actually a blaze burner. Because it gets up to freaking 1427 and does not actually go out from what I'm looking at. And seething. I'm assuming that's the blue flames when you feed it like a blaze cake. So yeah, it's super heated. Is there something we can give it? The only thing we can give it to get it superheated is some sort of biofuel. And that's or liquid wise. Otherwise, we would have to use like a blaze cake to give it. And how hard is it to make a blaze cake? Lava into blaze cake. Our base, and that's cinder flour, sugar, eggs. Both very easy. How is cinder flour? Cinder flour is easy. So we could theoretically just auto make these and just feed it to these guys. But let's grab a blaze burner. There we go. We got an empty one. Let's go grab a blaze. Okay, blaze burner acquired. He is not doing anything right now. Temperature's at 30 degrees Celsius. I don't think this is going to work. Oh, no, that did work. That is producing. That is producing. How much is it going to produce, though? Going up, going up, going up, going up. Okay. It's officially kind of peaked at 99 degrees Celsius. Like, it's not been going up anymore. So, one more blaze burner, and that should be good. Oh, it is indeed working. Oh yeah. Look at that. Temperature 139, 40 and rising. So we are making diesel, kerosene, gasoline, and LPG. So yeah, I can literally just give all these guys little hats and then feed them lava through our system because we're generating enough. So this works out perfectly. It's just now a matter of time. But if I'm not mistaken, we can turn diesel into kerosene, into gasoline, into LPG, right? Pneumatic, LPG, gasoline, kerosene, diesel. Okay. So yeah, we can literally stair-step this with the Pneumatic processing plant. So from there, we'll take all the other ingredients, pop them out. Now it's just a question if we need heat for this one as well. Well, bad news. Yeah, the blaze burner with a straw don't like to interact. So I got to do this a different way. Do it a way I didn't want to do, but I'm gonna do now. This was gonna be easier. Okay, so this is what I've had to do. I've got a mechanical arm that is kind of just going in a tizzy right now. I think I can actually stop that by just adding another bucket. Yes, okay, cool. So, what's happening is I'm basically filling buckets with lava. Those lava buckets will then get grabbed by the mechanical arm, and through the wall will actually feed these blaze burners to keep them going. So we are now back in business, and we are producing the LPG. Oh yeah, don't care. We're poorly insulated. Yeah, I don't. We're fine. I think we're fine. We're at 160 freaking Celsius. You know, that's hot. That's hot. So that's doing its thing. So now we need to find a way to take all these ingredients, move them over into these guys, which I know for a fact they need air. So I need to run some air over. Actually, I think I can run air down through here. I can run air through the floor. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Yeah. But I need to turn pretty much everything into LPG. So that way I can then turn LPG into molten plastic. This is a much bigger rabbit hole than I was imagining. And this is what our rabbit hole has come to. I am taking all of these ingredients, the diesel, the kerosene, the gasoline, and the LPG, and I'm sending them back upstairs to my system so we can actually look up things like LPG, and we can actually see it in the system. And actually, I think we'd be better to just do Pneumatic, because there you can see all the liquids, except for diesel, because it keeps ticking in and out. But that is because what's going on is it goes into the system, it comes over here into this thermo-pneumatic processing plant. That's a mouthful. It comes into here, and then it gets turned into kerosene. The kerosene comes into here, then becomes gasoline. The gasoline goes in here, and it becomes LPG. And there's the LPG waiting to become molten plastic. We just need to start giving it coal. But I did want to at least bring you guys back to show you what I'm doing to actually set this up. Now, I am dumb, because you can kind of, well, maybe not dumb, but just didn't think of it immediately. You can see that this setup is actually just got 2 items in it that, you don't exactly make sense. The resistive heaters. These are from Mechanism. They output heat. I have all these blaze burners providing heat to this refinery. I could have just done a resistive heater on that bottom block and everything would have been fine. Like, I could have even hidden the resistive heater possibly underneath this guy and you wouldn't see it. And I just didn't think of it until I'm like, oh, what can I do to get heat over to here? And I'm like, wait, heater, resistive heaters, Mechanism. I'm an idiot. So yeah, resistive heaters. I'm not taking this down because I do actually kind of like the look of this. Like, this tower right here just kind of looks pretty cool sitting next to all the blaze burners, which they actually do follow me still. So yeah, that's pretty neat. But then this also is another thing that I'm like, okay, you know what? I actually kind of like the way this looks. So I'm just going to keep it as is. So what we've got is monitors actually telling us how much of each thing we have in storage. So once this fills up to 32, it'll backlog in here, and then it'll backlog in here, and then it'll backlog in here, and then backlog in here, and then backlog in here, and then backlog in there, and then backlog in there. Yeah. We're producing all 4 of these things, and then we're taking all the diesel and putting it in here just to go through this process. Fun. But it is ready to make the plastic. So all I have to do is actually look for the right exporter right there. This exporter is the one we're going to need to actually say coal. Go in here as well as LPG. It should start accepting coal, and it is. And now we are making molten plastic, which is now going up in there. And this, once this backlogs, then that'll backlog again, that'll backlog, then that'll backlog again. Yeah. All that for molten plastic, just so we can continue on with the rest of this mod. My word. Okay, I've done all the necessary stuff to get this recipe put into this machine. Now, hopefully, we can literally just sit here and request it, and it'll go send all the items in, they'll pop into here, create the etching acid, come out, and then go back into the system. We could probably steal it before that, but Yeah. But there is something I do want to do with the pressure chamber interfaces because these guys are obnoxiously slow right now. So what we can do is we can look up in Pneumatic Craft. There are actually some different types of upgrades. Now there should be a speed upgrade somewhere. Block tracker. Speed upgrade. This. Oh, are you? No. You're kidding me. It's gotta have. I'm not making lubricant because I'm taking all of my freaking diesel and I'm just turning the diesel straight. You suck. Well, I guess I'm not speeding up the inputs because that's a whole nother rabbit hole I have to go down. Am I gonna need lubricant for anything else for this freaking thing? Drill bits. Lubricant buckets. Do you guys require lubricant? Do you? Oh, these are things I need to actually, yeah, okay. Do you? No, okay. Do you? No, okay. Let's just get this craft going. Let's start with one. It should be making the plastic right now. Because, okay, yeah, that's fine. I thought I set up everything. Why you no go? A bucket of molten plastic, 2 flesh, 2 eyes, 2 gunpowder. Why is nothing in here? You're connected. I am so dumb sometimes, I swear. I put a molten plastic spout up here so that way we could make buckets of molten plastic. And that's where it says it was causing problems. It was just like, hey, I'm not getting the buckets of molten plastic. So I'm like, well, why isn't it? So I came over here, molten bucket. It takes the bucket before it has the chance. Because I didn't set the filter. Let's try this again, shall we? Etching. Start. Things in the bucket. Go into the input. And then go into here. Pop. Pop. There we go. Molten plastic. Now we just gotta wait for everything else to get in there. Finally, after so long, after a rabbit hole and a half, we have etching acid. We can now put it in the etching tank. So, just do this, and it requires heat. Come here. Okay, go there. Okay, it is taking heat from that guy, so it is raising up. Etching time, 150 seconds. Throw you in. And no problems. Okay. Heat, yes, cool. Etching time, it's 140 seconds. Huh, I guess the higher the heat level, the less time, yeah. The higher the heat it is, the less time it takes to actually etch. So we can not actually throw these in here. Because if you look at the very middle, the white text, it says, etch success, 0% chance. That's because if you look, and you don't do it like this. Boop. Okay, yeah. it needs to be, you know, thrown through an actual UV light box. Because currently it's at a 0% success rate, and there's a couple different success rates. So we need it at 100. So we need this guy. Cool. That's no problem. Light bulbs, compressed iron, a pressure tube, all sounds good. Until you get to this guy. PCB blueprint. This, I thought would be easy. I thought it'd just be like some lapis and something else. Nope. We have to order it through the Amadron tablet, which means we need to make a GPS tool, not too hard. We need an air canister, and then we need to actually order through Amadron, but Amadron needs us to set up a chest. Why? Why did the PCB, like, why did this hold me up so much? I didn't think I'd actually have to get this far into the mod to actually get to this guy, because it seems so easy. Like, chamber walls, the hopper, these guys. All of this is so easy. But this guy, it has to be a problem. But sadly, that is about all we have time for. So we are just going to call it here and say successful attempt at making plastic. And next time we will work on getting the actual etching stuff done. So thank you all for watching. I've been Dorkman191, and next time we're going to be ordering things off from Amazon drone. Amadron. Yeah. Bye, y'all.